To Putu Agus Ardiana, the time is yours.
Well, thank you, MC, for introducing me to the audience. Very good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining this international webinar, both online and offline, here at the Faculty of Economics and Business, Udayana University. Today, we're going to talk about a very interesting topic, which is about the power of creativity and innovation for digital transformation. Speaking of creativity and innovation, these two terminologies are critical elements that enable South Korea to escape from a middle-income trap. The questions are then, can Indonesia follow the success story of South Korea in fostering creativity and promoting innovations? Can Indonesia become a key player or just a tantalizing market in a digitalized world? Last but not least, what sort of strategy should Indonesia undertake in carrying out digital transformation? Those questions will be answered by our competent speakers today in this international webinar. First of all, I would like to introduce you our keynote speaker. Our keynote speaker is Dr. Paul Harrigan. Dr. Paul Harrigan is an associate professor in marketing at the University of Western Australia Business School in Perth, Australia. He holds a PhD in marketing at Ulster University in Northern Ireland in the United Kingdom. Before that, he completed his master's degree in marketing and entrepreneurship, also at the same university, at Ulster University. He completed bachelor's degree in management with French from Queen's University, Belfast, also in Northern Ireland, the United Kingdom. His expertise is in the area of digital marketing, including social media marketing, and he has published numerous research papers in top-tier journals. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for Dr. Paul Harrigan. Hi, Paul. Very good morning.
Hi, thank you.
Great to see you again. Paul, you've got 30 minutes for your presentation, and then you will have another 30 minutes for a Q&A session. Time's yours, Paul.
Yeah, thank you very much for the kind introduction. I'm very delighted to be here today to talk to you about digital transformation. I'm sorry that I can't be there in person in Bali. Love to be, but I'm very impressed by the large number of attendees online as well. Please feel free to ask me any questions in the chat as we go, and if you can't hear me, if the connection's a problem, please also point that out. I will just share my screen so you can see the presentation I've put together, which I'm also happy to share with you later. So a nice way to start a new month. It's September. We're in the second semester here in Australia, and I'm not teaching at the moment, so it's I have time to do activities like this again. I've done some research, and pleased to be part of the anniversary. We've developed really well, particularly our faculty over the years, with some thought leadership. So thank you for letting me be part of that. My background is, I think, reasonably diverse. I'm Irish, so as Putu said, I come from Northern Ireland. I've worked in England, in the UAE, in France, China. But my main position for the last 10 years is at the University of Western Australia. It's a top 100 university in the world, so I'm proud to be part of that. And I teach everything digital. So I teach digital marketing, I research digital marketing. I'll just share with you a snapshot of that expertise today. Before I do that, it's essential, and every person I speak to and every organization I've ever worked with struggles with understanding, it seems strange, but understanding what they actually do and who for. And you cannot start anything else, particularly around digital, until you understand your value proposition. So this is a slide that I will show twice. I will show it now, and I'll show it at the end of my talk, because you really need to understand points 1, 2, 3, and 4 here. You need to understand our product or our service. What is it? Helps. Who does it help? If you're a university, if you're a marketing agency, if you're an accountant, an engineer, you need to understand your value proposition. So what do you offer, and who does it help? If you can answer those questions, good. But a little bit further, those people that you're helping, what problems are you solving for them? So what are they wanting to do? That's point 2. And then how do you solve them? Point 4. So this is example, our Agile and Vision Toolkit product service helps Chief Information Officers who want to, and this is their goal, and you understand their goal by talking to them, they want to move from a service provider to a strategic partner. So what we do, we as in this company, help them to have strategic conversations and differentiate them from other suppliers. Value proposition is essential. It's different from a vision, it's different from a mission. You need to understand the value that you offer before you can go any further to think about being creative, being innovative, and transforming. I can't see the chat while I'm speaking, so if you put the questions in, I know I have time at the end, so put them in at any time and through them afterwards. I've broken the talk down into 2 main sections. One is digital and one is data. Okay, the 2 are interconnected and they're the fundamental pillars of digital transformation. You need digital and you need data, and what I mean by those I will explain. This is a quote that I love from the CEO of Accenture, and I'll explain it to you so you can see it. Digital is the main reason just over half the companies on the Fortune 500 have disappeared since the year 2000. The challenge with that quote is, apart from being very significant, is what do we mean by digital? This is the challenge that most people misunderstand.
All right, Paul, thank you. Any other questions to Paul? Yes, please. To that lady, please. Thank you.
Yes. All right. Good morning, Mr. Paul. I'm grateful to ask you personally. First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Nikita Aprilia Kusumadewi. You can call me Aprilia. I'm an undergraduate student at Faculty Economy and Business today in University, majoring Economic Development. So my question is, as the young generation, we know that we have to facing the digital transformation. And can you provide an overview of the tips that we can do to advance the nation, especially in the field of digital transformation? Thank you.
Good question. Well, first of all, you're already part of this webinar, so you're already open-minded, and by proactively attending events like this, you're ahead of most of your peers. So expertise on a weekly or monthly basis. I'm doing this webinar. I don't want another job. I'm not doing it for any reason other than to share knowledge and to meet new people. Um, Other people might not do something like this without a tangible benefit. Those people are not going to be part of digital culture. You have to give your time to people that ask.
All right. Thank you, Paul. Yes, Paul, unfortunately, actually there are more questions from audience, but, time's up. Paul, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. But please stay tuned because right after this, we're going to have a panel session. So don't worry, if you have questions, then just ask questions to our speakers. Paul, you also please stay tuned because right after this, we're going to take pictures together. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to return this event to MC. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was the presentation of the material for this first session, which was presented by our main research person, Associate Professor of Marketing, the University of Western Australia Business School, Dr. Paul Harrigan.
Next agenda, we invited the Dean of Faculty of Economics and Business, Agus Ganesha Rahyuda, ST, MT, PhD, and the Chair of the International Webinar Committee of the Faculty of Economics and Business, Ayu Metia Pratiwi, SA, MSE, will present certificate of appreciation and play to keynote speaker, and keynote continue on the memorable picture-taking session.
Okay, thank you. So, good morning, Dr. Paul. On behalf of the Faculty of Economics and Business, Udayana University, would like to thank you for all of your thoughts and also your contribution to this international seminar. Thank you very much. It's a great honor to have you in our seminar. And also, I'm hopeful that in the very soon, we can meet together either in Australia or in Bali. Next, I would like to offer you certificate of appreciations from our faculty. Could you please accept our certificate? This will represent our gratitude to you to have you in our international seminar. Thank you very much, Dr. Paul Harrigan. Thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now entering a panel session. We have two speakers in this session. First of all, I would like to introduce our first speaker. His name is Mr. Riri Satria. He is an independent commissioner for Jakarta International Container Terminal. To be honest, he is a multiple talent person. He is an executive. I told you, he's an independent commissioner in a state-owned company. He's also a lecturer, an academic. He's a lecturer at the State University of Intelligence. He is also a lecturer at the University of Indonesia. And he's also an art enthusiast. He completed his bachelor's degree in computer science at the University of Indonesia, and then he completed his master's degree in management from PPM School of Management. He's also the founder and CEO of Value Alignment Advisory, an advisory firm for Indonesia's digital transformation. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, please welcome Mr. Riri Satria. All right, now allow me to introduce our second speaker. Our second speaker is Mr. Igede Putu Rahman Desianta. He's the coordinator of HIPMI Blockchain Center. And for your information, HIPMI is Indonesia Young Entrepreneurs Association. He has plenty of experience. He is the CEO of Baliola. He is also a co-founder of Kepeng Indonesia. He is founder and CEO of Nova Core, and he is the co-owner of Mitra Dunia Persada. He completed his bachelor's degree in mathematics and computer science from Binus University. He completed his master's degree in management from Undiknas University, previously called Universitas Pendidikan Nasional. Excellent. Both speakers are the experts in this area, so without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Igede Putu Rahman Desianta. All right, now sitting next to me are our speakers in panel discussion or panel session. And Pak Riri and Pak Anta, each of you has 30 minutes for your presentation, and then we will have panel discussion. Start from Pak Riri. Thank you.
Good morning, Vice Deans and everyone. Thank you for inviting me to Bali. And actually, this is my first come to Bali since the pandemic era. So the latest I went to Bali is about 2020. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to talk, so let me stand here because I want to see the slide as well. So, I will share with you digital transformation strategy, and it's a real case in Indonesia. It's a lesson learned from technology-based enterprise in Indonesia. And we will have question and answer if you want to know much deeper and deeper again. Thank you, Pak Agus, saya kembalikan.
Thank you, brilliant Pak Riri. Thank you very much. Before we are entering question and answer session, we have Pak Anta, our next speaker, to do presentation. Please, Pak Anta.
Okay, good morning. One thing that I guarantee you, this movement will be happening. It's up to you, you want to be in that movement or just being a good watcher or get a lot of benefit from this ecosystem. So this is, thank you for the attention. If you have a question, there is another Q&A. I hope there is a lot of question, and most of them is to Pak Riri. Please don't give me a hard question. Thank you.
Superb, Pak Anta, superb. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are entering a Q&A session with two speakers. So if anyone wants to ask questions to our speakers, please raise your hands. And also, if you are joining us online, you can type your questions in the chat menu. Any questions? Yes, please, gentlemen.
Thank you for the time. My name is Agus Putra. I'm from management. I want to ask some questions, general questions. What are your thoughts on challenges in this digital era? What type of job would you think become obsolete? And the last questions, what job should we think about for our future? Because we're a freshman after all. That's all. Thank you.
Thanks for the question. Pak Anta, Pak Riri.
Okay, thank you. That's a good question. So,
Right. Well, speaking of ecosystem in the process of digitalization, I was wondering what should the government provide, let's say in terms of incentives, facilities, and also regulation that should be prepared in order to foster, the creativity and innovation. Anyone? All right. Any more questions to our speakers? Yes, please, gentlemen.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon. My name is Trima. I'm a student at Bachelor of Economics Study Program, Faculty Economy and Business, Udayana University. I have a question for Mr. Anta. Great point on blockchain, but there was a crypto flip earlier last month because it was extremely overvalued. What are your thoughts on cryptocurrency as reliable investment? And other thing based on blockchain is NFT. What are your thoughts on NFT? I believe irresponsible people tries to benefit them by uploading other artists' artwork. Thank you.
Okay, so first of all, we need to separate one thing. You know the original of Bitcoin?
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your attention. But before we close this panel discussion or panel session, I would like to sum up our discussion. Creativity is not necessarily innovation. Innovation requires creativity to be possible. Creativity requires innovation to be useful. If we have a brainstorm meeting and dream up dozens of new ideas, then we have displayed creativity. But there's no innovation yet until something gets implemented. Today, we can barely imagine functioning without digital access in just about everything we do. It took creativity and innovation to make it a reality. Thank you so much again for your attention, your question and everything. And congratulations to Faculty of Economics and Business for this international seminar. And I return this event to the MC. Thank you so much.